Some albums you just listen to, but others, they live in you. And for me, that was Beyonce's B'Day album. Welcome to my new series, Albums That Define My Music Taste, where I discuss my favorite albums that shifted my mindset around music. And it's only right that I start this series off with the Queen Bee herself, Beyonce. B'Day wasn't just a R&B and pop record. It was the soundtrack to my childhood, and honestly, the reason I fell in love with music the way I did. Today, I want to take you through why I truly think B'Day is Beyonce's best album. Just imagine, the year is 2006. Beyonce has already solidified herself as a superstar after Dangerously in Love. Dreamgirls recently came out, and then boom, we get B'Day. But this album was different. It was funky and unapologetically Beyonce. I remember watching all of her music videos, wanting to look like her, dress like her, do my hair like her, just be her. She wasn't just an artist to me, she was everything. Inspiring a bunch of black women and little black girls globally. Released on Beyonce's 25th birthday, B'Day represents a rebirth and stepping into her grown woman era.
The album comes out actually the week of my birthday, September 5th. And I named the album B'Day because it's full of up-tempo records and it sounds like a big party, and it's my gift to everyone else.
When you ask a lot of OG Beyonce fans what their favorite era of Beyonce is, most of them usually say B'Day. And that's because this album really encapsulates everything we love about Beyonce into one project. Meanwhile, her other projects primarily focus on specific aspects of Beyonce. The themes are power, love, independence, and vulnerability. Beyonce shows us every side of womanhood, from the joy, the anger, the playfulness, and even the heartbreak. And the beauty is that she did it unapologetically. This album brought the vocals and the visuals. Beyonce filmed a music video for every track on the deluxe edition, creating the B'Day anthology video album. And at this time, this was groundbreaking because nobody has ever done this before, and this was years before the visual album became her known trademark. After finishing her work on Dreamgirls, Beyonce set her sights on a new challenge. What began as a vacation quickly turned into a burst of inspiration. She reached out to her trusted circle of producers and booked Sony Music Studios in New York. And in just 2 weeks, y'all, the sessions transformed into a fully realized album. Much of her writing drew on the raw emotions that she explored through her role in the film. And musically, the project became a kaleidoscope, fusing the funk and soul of past decades with sweeping ballads and the sharp edge of 2000s hip-hop, pop, and R&B. Now, part of what makes B'Day so iconic is who Beyonce brought into the studio. We have Rodney Darkchild Jenkins, who gave the album layers of polished R&B. We have Swiss Beats, who delivered that chaotic, percussive fire with tracks like Get Me Bodied and Upgrade You. Then we have the Neptunes, Pharrell and Chad, who sprinkled in their futuristic funk on songs like Greenlight and Kitty Cat. Then we have Rich Harrison, who produced Crazy in Love, and he added that horn-driven funk to Sugar Mama. We have Stargate, who gave us Irreplaceable, which was actually originally written as a country song before Beyonce transformed it into an R&B anthem. And finally, we have Brian Michael Cox, who provided the emotional depth with Resentment. The result? A project that sounds cohesive yet diverse. It's like a non-stop performance. Now let's get into the iconic track list. All hits. First, we have Deja Vu. The album kicks off like being dropped into the middle of a storm, and you hear that iconic opening line,
bass.
Beyonce's vocals are raw and powerful, and Jay-Z delivers his classic verse. It all feels like love so intense, you can't even control it. Funny enough, I think this is one of Beyonce's loudest songs, and she delivers one of the greatest bridges of all time. Then the storm breaks into pure joy, and we have Get Me Bodied. We have the horns, the call and response. This was an invitation. The music video and choreography, inspired by Bob Fosse's Sweet Charity, became a classic. Little me was in the living room learning every single piece of choreography Beyonce created. She was commanding the room and we all followed. Sugar Mama then slows things down but turns up the attitude. Beyonce flips the script on traditional gender roles. She's offering to spend her money, take care of her man, and even spoil him. The guitar riffs and bluesy groove make it feel both old school and modern. As a young girl, I didn't fully understand the lyrics at the time, but I felt the power. This was a woman taking charge. If Sugar Mama was playful, Upgrade You was straight up regal. This is Beyonce in CEO mode, telling her man, I can elevate you just by being in your life.
I hear you be the block, but I'm the life to keep the streets on. Notice you the type that...
With Jay-Z rapping alongside her, it became this power couple anthem. And for me, it was the first time I saw a woman stand next to her man in a music video and not just match him, but outshine him. Next, we get into Ring the Alarm. This song is full of just raw emotion. It's jealousy, betrayal, rage, all bottled into one explosive performance. The sirens blaring, the aggressive vocals. Beyonce doesn't just sing the song, she screams it from her soul. It was shocking, especially at a time when women in pop often had to play it pretty and perfect. This track showed me that music could be messy, angry, and unapologetically real. After the storm of Ring the Alarm, Kitty Cat feels like Beyonce stepping into her soft girl era.
You know I hate sleeping alone, but you said that you...
If only for a moment. It's playful, seductive, and a little bit petty. Produced by Pharrell, the quirky beat and purring ad-libs made it feel like a wink at the audience. Like she was saying, if you can't give me attention, somebody else will. Then we get Freakum Dress. A call to arms for every girl who needed a boost of confidence for a night out. This track is pure empowerment wrapped in fun. The horns blare like a marching band, the beat is relentless, and Beyonce tells you exactly how to reclaim your power. Put on that dress, step out, and remind the world who you are. To this day, this is one of my favorite Beyonce tracks of all time. Me and my sisters even made our own choreography to this song. Next we have Green Light, which is pure chaos, but in the best way.
Mama, give it to mama.
The Neptunes lace this track with sharp horns, wild drums, and a pace that feels like you're sprinting. Beyonce's vocals are sharp, urgent, and almost taunting. It's her giving the green light, but also daring you to keep up. And as a listener, it felt like a roller coaster. Fast, thrilling, and impossible not to sing along with Beyonce. And then, just as the chaos reaches its peak, Beyonce pulls the rug and gives us Irreplaceable.
You own in the box to the left, in the closet, that's my stuff, yeah.
It's the calm after the storm, but not the kind of calm that's quiet. It's the confidence of knowing your worth, the power of walking away. The acoustic guitar gives it a lighter, almost country feel, which was rare for Beyonce at the time, but it worked. And it didn't just work, it defined a generation. Finally, we end with Resentment.
I wish I could believe you, then I'll be...
The production is stripped down, the tempo slow, and the vocals raw. Beyonce pours out betrayal, heartbreak, and vulnerability. Ending the album here reminds you that behind all the power and glitz, there's a woman with emotions just like anyone else. And that's why the album feels complete. It takes you on a full journey, and we cannot forget about the iconic Check on It.
Ooh, boy, you're looking like you like what you see. Won't you come over and check?
This song wasn't originally made for B-Day. It was recorded for the Pink Panther soundtrack. But Beyonce loved it so much, and fans loved it as well, that it became a bonus track and eventually tied into the B-Day era. Here, Beyonce takes full control of her vocals, flipping between sultry and commanding. Then Slim Thug and Bun B slide onto the track, really grounding it with that Houston swag. What I love about this album is how it balances high energy dance tracks with deeply emotional ballads, and it just feels complete. Beyonce became my standard for performance, for artistry, for Black womanhood in pop culture. Through this album, I discovered my love for that mix of pop and R&B, and it shaped my entire musical taste. Even now, when I go back to listen to B-Day, it feels like coming home. After the release, B-Day debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 and sold over 500,000 copies in its first week in the US. Irreplaceable became one of the longest running #1s by a female artist at the time, topping the Billboard Hot 100 for 10 consecutive weeks. The album was so impactful that in 2007, she released B-Day with new songs like Beautiful Liar with Shakira, which actually went on to be #1 in over 30 different countries at the time, and Listen from Dreamgirls. B-Day also went on to win the Grammy for Best Contemporary R&B Album. But beyond the numbers, it was Beyonce stepping into a new era of artistry. She wasn't just a former member of Destiny's Child, she was Beyonce, the icon. Now, Beyonce has an incredible discography. We have Lemonade, we have Four, we have Renaissance, the list goes on and on and on. But for me, B'Day will always be her best. It's fearless, it's cohesive, it's energetic from start to finish, and it captures Beyonce at a pivotal moment. Young, hungry, and determined to be the greatest. And she was. I'd love to hear from you. What do you think is Beyonce's greatest album? Let me know in the comments. And stay tuned for my next video in this series.